Computer gaming today is a hobby enjoyed by millions of people worldwide. While most gamers choose to play casually, a growing number have begun to take gaming much more seriously. The most dedicated of these players join together into clans, which compete at worldwide events for substantial cash prizes. I travelled to one of these events, called QuakeCon in Dallas, Texas, with the UK gaming team 4 Kings, to investigate the emergence of professional gaming and see how well the Intel-sponsored team can fare against the world's competition. Over 4,000 gamers from all around the world turned up to play at QuakeCon 2003. They competed in such games as Quake 3, Wolfenstein and Enemy Territory.
There's like huge cash prizes, and it's going where we were hoping it was going to go.
We've spent months going over different tactical ideas.
It's not a geeky thing to do, it's an okay thing, and loads of people play games.
Alright, want me to redo that?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the entertainment of our generation, you know?
Top rope! Well done. Cover door.
A thoroughly jet-lagged 4 Kings team finally arrive at QuakeCon and settle down in their rooms. Full-time professional gamer Toby Aldridge is responsible for the management of the clan and also represents his team in their Wolfenstein division.
Feels really good to be here this year. We've done a lot of preparation. We've been playing many hours every night for the last couple of months. Big work up to it. It's the biggest event ever as far as Wolfenstein's concerned. And there's $20,000 up for stake for first prize, with a total purse of $125,000.
As competitive gaming has grown in popularity, many hardware developers have begun to release high-performance products specifically for the gaming market. The 4 Kings team brought their own equipment all the way from the UK.
It's a Logitech MX200 mouse, one of the most accurate mice you can get, and a fat pad. I only really use the fat pad because it's so big. There's not really many other pads as big. It means I can use a low sensitivity and still be able to aim well. Mesh Bungee keeps the cord from getting snagged, and it just keeps the cord nice and clean.
I think gamers are very particular about the hardware they have for their games. I mean, it's a little bit like Formula 1, going Formula 1 racing in a Robin Reliance. You wouldn't win, so your hardware is just as important as your skill.
As 4 Kings warm up for their first match, their head tactician Simon Butt reveals some of the tactics they plan on using.
Today we're playing Westside Wolves, a Western American team. We're playing them on the map Ice, which is one of the bigger Wolfenstein maps. It's got 2 large sections. There's the Allied section, where they have a large stronghold fortress, where they protect their documents, right at the top. There's 2 ways the Axis can attack the fortress: either attack via the hill route, which is outside and come around the stronghold, or they can come underneath through the service halls and up into the fortress. They have to grab the documents and then run back to their side of the map to the transmitter, and then they win. Well, there's a very large scope for the tactics you can use in any Wolfenstein map. But for Ice, the traditional tactics are to set your men up around the top of the stronghold, and they can shoot down as the people try and climb up the ladders, or as they're coming around the side. My role is the Panzerfaust, which is a heavy weapon. Generally I'll be watching the inside, and if there's a lot of enemies coming in, I'm going to have to fire at them and take them all out in one shot, hopefully. If you're attacking as a big group, you're going to get taken down, so you need to attack them from as many directions as you can and as coordinated as you can.
I'm making cinema 6.
As a pistol versus MP4 in the north. There's a lot of thought that goes behind gaming now, and now it's multiplayer. It's all about beating the other person or the other team. So There's a lot of strategy, a lot, even psychology, working out the best ways to beat a player, working out all their weaknesses and how to exploit them.
The first match 4 Kings are set to play is versus the American team, Westside Wolves.
We're about to play 4 Kings for our first match. Should be good, should be fair competition, pretty balanced teams. I heard they're one of the best Euro teams, and we feel we're one of the best North American teams.
2 good flag, 3 good flag. Let's go south. Both dead.
Here we're watching 4 Kings versus WSW on Ice, the first match of the tournament for 4 Kings. We're watching from 4K Zombie's perspective as he leads the Axis team towards the mid-level spawn flag. The Axis need to grab this flag in order to respawn and push the main allied stronghold. We see them exchanging a bit of heavy weapons fire, 1 man on each team being obliterated. Then the Axis will be taking out the remaining defences and grabbing the spawn flag. We had a good respawn time, so a hill attack was called in the hope that the allies hadn't had time to set up their defences. So we see 2 medics and a lieutenant pushing up towards the hill and round the side of the stronghold. The medics being the most important, as here we see a lieutenant being taken down, but the medics can get him straight back up again. The hill's looking reasonably clear, and at this point we're thinking that the allies haven't got the defence up in time, we're going to have an easy run of it. But the allies have got their defences up, they've got 3 man at the top shooting down, and also unfortunately they spawn behind us and get us in a nasty crossfire and wipe us out. We then respawn and Zombie calls a 3-3 split, 3 to the hill and 3 inside. But the allies have got a rocket launcher watching inside. But luckily we leap over the top of it and kill him. At this point the other 3 members of the team are pushing the hill and distracting the guys up a base. Zombie and Explicit go up the outside and in a ladder. A nice bit of teamwork to kill that guy. And then attack the rest of the upper base defense, which have been busy concentrating on the other 4 men. Zombie makes a grab for the documents, jumps down, goes around the side door, giving Explicit time to jump down and cover his back. And he calls for the rest of the team to cover the south service halls so that the enemy can't push down from the hill to cut him off. And here we switch to Zombie making the final run towards the Axis transmitter. It's been cleared out, and we go 1-0 up. Unfortunately, we dropped the next 2 rounds, then pulled one back to make it 2-2. The tactics were rather unconventional by European standards, and got the better of us in the final round, and they knocked us into the losers bracket, giving us a very tough run if we were going to make the finals. After the match we were all obviously unhappy at the result, so we went up to the hotel room to talk over what had gone wrong and lift each other's spirits a bit. We then got an early night to get over the jet lag and be ready for our next game in the morning.
QuakeCon isn't the only big gaming event today. Back in the UK, the qualifiers for the World Cyber Games are being held. This event was founded in South Korea, a country where gaming has become an accepted part of their culture, and live tournaments are featured daily on TV. Ex-professional gamer Sujoy Roy is well acquainted with the problems that gaming faces in its bid to become a spectator sport.
Right now, when we've got spectating, it's really, they're looking at the pretty graphics and they're looking at someone being able to aim very quickly, but they're not scratching much deeper than that. What we need to make it better is something like a good commentator to explain where people are doing well, where they're doing badly, and to build up the excitement.
They're going to have to regroup, they're going to have to come in hard like a hammer, and they're going to have to penetrate the Allied defense to get inside, grab the documents, and run them through the front door. But the Lemmings have not been able to do that.
I've seen at tournaments before, places like the ES World Cup, they've got heartbeat monitors to show how intense it is and how certain parts of the game will make someone be more on edge. And we need more of that. We just need more feedback, more understanding, and a good face to present it all.
I mean, anyone who's ever videoed somebody playing a computer game, certainly at professional tournaments, their face is often just kind of like this kind of look, and it doesn't really change expression that much. You tend to get like a bunch of expressionless people.
Nice, one window.
Oh, you're joking, dude, look.
Watching a game of Counter-Strike, unless it's done in a very compelling way, is a little bit boring, unless you're actually involved in the game. And we've got to find a way of making computer gaming much more watchable.
Generally what tends to happen is that gaming programs are often just put on at 3 a.m. in the morning on Channel 4, and they're kind of up there with soft porn in terms of social acceptability in the UK. And the fact is that these days, with things like The Sims and stuff coming out, there's millions of people playing games. There's more people playing games than there are buying movie tickets. So it's certainly something that terrestrial broadcasters and the bigger broadcasters are going to have to start taking seriously.
So how do you feel this morning?
A bit nervous. We haven't got any second chances anymore. Our next game is against Last Chance, the British team. Should give us, well, hopefully will give us a big confidence boost, and hopefully we'll take it.
The Four Kings gaming clan has been sponsored by Intel for the last 18 months. The team are equipped with Intel Pentium 4 processors with hyperthreading technology and Intel motherboards.
Been in 4K about 3 months now, really enjoying it. They got excellent team play, excellent tactics and great commitment. Credit to the UK scene.
In the hour before the match, Four Kings spend some time in their hotel room going over attacking plans and making sure each member of the team knows what their role will be when Toby calls the attack.
Is Rob, Mike, Chris Medic, Will Engineer, Side Panzer, Fire Tunnel.
Engineer going tunnel.
Well, we may as well swap that to Rob's Panzer.
Yeah.
Medic through tunnel. 5-1 tunnel. And then I go to 2 implant 2. 5 low, Panzer high, Rob Panzer high, Will Lieutenant, rest medics and
Remember
engineer.
Will's house? It's just if I check the northeast alone.
Sometimes it goes straight through the middle.
It's going to go across though, isn't it?
And the middle tactics. Rough diagram of northeast tower. When we're running out, we all run from the side door all the way around to the bunker. So we got cover and they can't limbo our bodies because we'll be hiding behind the sandbags there. Side. Rob. Mike.
Medic low.
Will.
No, I know it. Engineer low.
Side.
The pressure is on Four Kings to perform. Any loss now and they face an early exit from the competition.
We came through a lot better from the previous matches. We stuck to a game plan and played how we were meant to play and we came out on top this time.
With their confidence back, Four Kings go on to beat teams from the UK, Germany and America. And in a twist of the draw, they also faced Westside Wolves again, who they beat this time around 3-0.
I'm weak. I'm weak.
In the quarterfinals, Four Kings were up against the most formidable opponent, the European team GMPO.
It had been said that the Four Kings versus GMPO match on base was one of the most exciting in the competition for spectators, and it was certainly a tense game to play. We took the first round reasonably easily, then GMPO got themselves together and brought it back to 1-1, and before we knew it, it was 2-2 and going to the deciding round. We set a great time on attack, just under 3 minutes, in the 15-minute round, and then switched to defence for the chance of going to the semi-finals. Unfortunately, GMPO managed to break through our defence and planted the main radar tower, breaking our 3-minute time. We finished in 4th place, which technically places us 4th in the world, but understandably we were all rather disappointed at the result.
I think they've lost some activities.
We're down.
The Wolfenstein finals were held between GMPO and the Swedish team in Fences. Over 2,000 people were present spectating the finals, with many more thousands watching the games live online. After taking 4th spot and a cheque for $7,000, the team take a well-deserved break. competitive gaming still remains something of a sleeping giant, a subculture which is enjoyed by so many and yet still so misunderstood by mainstream media.
Computer games and people earning money from computer games, or taking computer games so seriously it's their profession, that kind of stuff is still a novelty. It's not mainstream. It's not really normal. So when it's shown on television or written about in a newspaper, it's because it's exceptional, and it's not because an underdog team beat the champions. It's not because of the sporting aspect. It's just because it's kind of sort of wacky for someone to take computer games so seriously, and we got to get out of that.
Yeah, sometimes I do worry that I could be wasting my time playing all these games, but then the industry is a very big industry. It's a multi-billion pound as it is, and technology is always advancing, and the industry is advancing with that. So I'm hoping in the future there'll be a lot of scope to make money playing games.
Trying to get traditional media to cover the events, more mainstream media will help get a lot more sponsors into it, and then it turns into NASCAR and all these other big marketing-driven sports.
And I think we will get there eventually. It will be recognised as the new sport for the next millennium.